Alright, so I am fully aware that this video sounds kind of crazy and the thing that it's suggesting is kind of crazy from the get-go, but hear me out. The Los Angeles Lakers right now suck, and while I believe that they could turn it around and they could still become a championship caliber team and potentially win one over the next 2 seasons, at the same time I think we are all aware that it's really within the realm of possibility that this team just kind of flames out over the next 2 years. And coincidentally, as that is happening, the Cleveland Cavaliers look surprisingly good with a ton of upside for the future. So when LeBron is 39 years old and looking to ride out the last couple of years of his career after his contract has expired in 2023, it's not necessarily a crazy thought that the Cavaliers would be one of the most attractive destinations for him to go to if he's not sticking around in Los Angeles, which is not out of character. Now, I don't actually expect this to happen, however, it is a fun idea to ponder on, so I figured that's what this video would be. The video is kind of bullshit, I'll be real, but it's fun bullshit to talk about, so let's do it. Before I continue on with this video, about half of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed, so if you fall in the 50%, then please subscribe. I am trying to hit 200k subscribers on the channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. I am uploading 6 days a week for the rest of December in order to try and achieve this goal, so if you're new here, please subscribe, especially if you enjoy the video. And also drop a like, it helps the video perform better in the YouTube algorithm. And if you have not already, check out my most recent deep dive, which, as of the recording of this video, is the most recent video to come out on my channel. It is called The Plight of the Robin. I am talking about why some Robins of the Batman and Robin duos in the league can kind of lose their mind, and I think it's a very good video, so go watch it if you haven't already. So first of all, why might LeBron want to leave the Lakers by the time his contract expires in 2023? Well, do I really need to explain to you why? I guess I'll do it though. The thing with the Lakers is there is little flexibility with where this roster can go moving forward, and I know that's what people said about the Lakers pre-doing the Russell Westbrook trade, but the thing is you didn't have to be that flexible to do the Russell Westbrook trade. You just had to have some tradable contracts, and the Lakers had that. But now, after the Russell Westbrook trade has happened, now in terms of assets, it is Talen Horton-Tucker, and that is it. The only other hope would be taking another flyer on another bad contract star level player like you did with Russell Westbrook, and I don't know about that. And sure, Anthony Davis would still be there and still be good, but maybe it's just my distaste for Anthony Davis speaking. But I think what the Cleveland Cavaliers have to offer as a whole team is better than Anthony Davis and a roster of a bunch of whatever. So the Lakers get stuck in terms of improving. They do not win a ring over the next 2 seasons. LeBron is 39 years old and a free agent. So at that point, I don't think it is exactly out of character for LeBron to look for a new destination. It's something he's done a handful of times now. He's kind of known for it. So then, with the plausibility of him leaving the Lakers being there, what exactly do the Cleveland Cavaliers have to offer? Well, this is the part where I sneak in talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers in a video about LeBron, when in reality I just wanted to talk about the Cavs for a bit, so here we are. But what do the Cavaliers have to offer? Well, inherently part of this has to be hypothetical because the Cleveland Cavaliers are a roster made up of younger players with a ton of upside, and we're going to see where that upside gets delivered on over the next 2 years, but it's not there yet. That said, the Cavaliers are dripping with potential, and they're also just really good right now. Evan Mobley will be going into his 3rd year. Darius Garland will be going into his 4th. Jarrett Allen will still be young, and so will Colin Sexton if he's around, though I don't expect either of those last 2 to have some dramatic leap. I think they're close to what their ceiling is. But the thing is, this team can only go up from where they are right now, and where they are right now is the playoffs in what is currently a tougher conference. That is a video for later this week, I believe Friday. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are a playoff team already. And sure, there are contributions from some veteran players. Ricky Rubio is the one who stands out the most by far. There's also Kevin Love. Most of the success of the Cleveland Cavaliers has been caused by their young players. Evan Mobley is about as good as it gets with the rookie. In fact, I am so confident in Evan and how good he's going to be really soon that I would bet a few grand that the guy is an all-star by his second year. It wouldn't even be that crazy for him to be an all-star this year. He just kind of needs to get his counting stats up a bit. In terms of impact, though, the guy has absolutely played like an all-star caliber player. Well, you might look at the box score and see 14 and 8 with 2 assists and 2 blocks on league average efficiency, or you might even watch some games and see his defensive prowess and some surprising offensive polish. But what is scary about Evan is that he is just insanely high in potential. Evan is already, no joke, a borderline defensive player of the year candidate. When he and Jarrett Allen share the floor together, they are the best defense in the NBA. And it's not even close. They have a defensive rating under 100, which is insane for the modern NBA. And outside of that duo, overall, with Mobley being the only major defensive improvement they've made over this offseason, I guess you could say Rubio is also one, but not, to the degree that Evan Mobley is for sure. They have gone from the 25th best defense to 3rd because of Evan Mobley. The guy's a rookie. Evan is going to be the best defender in the NBA one day, and he's not even really that far off already as a rookie. And then offensively, that comes off more like there are great building blocks here, but it's far from a complete package. But the passing and ball handling upside is there. His jump shot looks really good, even though it's not really going in right now. Though he is shooting 33% from 3 on low volume and 42% from 10 to 16 feet, which is, they're not great numbers, and his long twos are really bad, but it's respectable, and it's a sign to me that at his peak, Evan Mobley is going to be a decent shooter at the very least. He has shown some post-up potential. He shoots 74% at the rim, which is really great. Evan is just amazing, and honestly, the sky is the limit. I would bet that going into his 3rd season, especially with the help of LeBron James being another player who can set him up outside of Darius Garland, who we're going to talk about in just a second here, I think Mobley, by his 3rd year, can be a 23-10 guy who also averages like 4 assists and 3 blocks and is a defensive player of the year candidate, if not the defensive player of the year. Darius Garland is a stud of a guard. He is averaging 19 and 7 right now on a little bit better than league average true shooting. He is an elite pull-up shooter. He has phenomenal handle and vision. He's improved his finishing at the rim to the point of being good after it was really bad to start, and even his defense has taken a leap to being not awful. Really, I'd say in the offensive department at this point, Darius Garland is kind of the full package. He's a really good three-point shooter, really good mid-range shooter, solid finisher, has a good floater game, really good handle, really good pass vision, which is better than people expected because he didn't really display that in his college or high school days. So Garland is kind of perfect in terms of his offensive capabilities. The only thing that he has to do is ramp up the aggressiveness. Really, he just needs to do what he's doing right now, just more often. If he ramps up his aggressiveness, Darius Garland is someone who can average 25 points on good efficiency, as well as like 7-8 assists a game. And it's a pretty good fucking player right there. Yet another guy who is all-star caliber for sure in the future. The guy just needs to hunt for his shots more. And speaking of hunting for shots, it's really up in the air whether or not Colin Sexton is going to actually be on this roster going into 2023. And if he is, you're worrying about his contract extension and how that affects your salary cap. But if he is around, he is yet another 20-point per game type of guy. Granted, I don't know how great the idea of 2 small guards alongside LeBron James necessarily is, but you also have the huge bigs because you have Evan Mobley playing the 4. So I guess it kind of works out size-wise, but I'm not the biggest fan of Colin Sexton if you didn't pick up by me using the transition of speaking of shot hunting. So yeah. On top of that, Jarrett Allen is great. I haven't really talked about him much just because it's kind of just like a given. Yeah, he's really good. He's one of the most efficient players in the league offensively, averaging like 15 points right now. And then he's just one of the best defensive players too. Him and Evan Mobley is probably the best defensive duo in basketball right now. Statistically speaking, they definitely are. They're also role players on the come up with this team. They have all of their future first, and conveniently, Kevin Love's max contract comes off of the books for the 2023 offseason. So I could very well see the Cavs going into the 2023 offseason having two real young all-stars who are only going to get better, a ton of cap space, a ton of draft capital, and conveniently this all lines up with LeBron James being a free agent again. I'm not going to say the stars are aligning, but I will say it wouldn't take much more than a nudge for them actually to be aligned. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers in this instance, rather than 2014, will be getting a worse version of LeBron. But LeBron is going to be joining a better team than what he joined in 2014, so I still think this could be a contender level team, and LeBron's veteran leadership could bring a lot out of these young players. Also, as for what I'm sure a lot of the comment section is going to say, which is he's just going to go wherever Bronny is drafted. Well, I will say, as of right now, it looks as though Bronny is going to be a late first round pick in the 2024 draft class. Of course, a lot of that stuff is subject to change. It's really just solid enough speculation, but not hard evidence of anything. But right now, he looks like a late first, early second round pick. So if it's about that, he could very easily just have the Cavs draft him, and I'm sure they'd be happy to do it. So it's not really that big of a hindrance, I don't think. So yeah. Shout out to Rudy for editing this video. This is a bullshit video, by the way. This video is just dumb speculation, but I had fun and I got to talk about the Cavaliers, and you know, you watched it. So that's your fault, not mine. Shout out to Rudy for editing this video. That's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.